All right, so I saw someone asked how long the workshop is going to start. So it is 11 o'clock now, so we're going to get started now. The workshop, the plan is to go for an hour. I know I've got too much material here. We're going to go faster through some parts of it and slower through other parts of it, but it's probably going to end up taking a little bit more than an hour. I'm going to talk about the schedule in just a moment here so that you guys know what to expect when. But before I do that, I just want to say welcome to the Get Started in Making Money Online workshop. I am so excited to have you here. I'm so excited by how many people have decided to join us today and by what I'm going to share with you, because I firmly believe that making money online is not something that needs to be complicated or overwhelming, and that it really can be quite simple if you have a solid, proven plan, a big picture plan. So that's what I want to teach you guys today. If you have any comments as we're going along, if you just want to talk about what we're talking about, post that in the comments, well, in the chat section. If you have questions that you want answered at the end, then click the button that says Q&A and post your questions there. If anything goes wrong during the workshop, tech trouble happens. If anything goes wrong, then please just click the link that you used to get into the workshop originally. And that will enable you to join the workshop again in the middle, wherever we're at right then, and you'll be able to pick up where we left off. So we're going to get started without any further ado, and we will move forward with this. Okay, so welcome to the workshop. We said that. So here's the agenda for today. So we're going to spend the first 5 minutes of the workshop just doing an introduction to the concept of making money online and giving you a little bit of context about what we're going to be talking about and how it can apply to your life and why you should believe me, basically. Pet peeve of mine is when people spend 20 minutes talking about themselves, so we're definitely not going to do that. I will introduce myself for those of you who maybe aren't as familiar with me. My name is Gillian Perkins, and I'll share a couple facts about what I do in a few minutes here. But after the introduction, we'll spend 45 minutes going deep into how to make money online, and that's going to include how to decide which business to start, and also the 7-step framework for building a successful online business. Then we'll spend about 15 minutes talking about the 4 reasons that most people fail to build successful online businesses and how to avoid those mistakes. And then we'll spend the last 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes on a Q&A. Some people are saying on mobile you have no sound. I think that most people can hear. I know my microphone is on. I would try adjusting your sound. Okay, awesome. So let's keep going here. So first, we're going to get started with this intro. So my question for you is, what made you decide to join today? We were talking about this a little bit before we got started, but if you haven't already commented and said, what made you decide to join today? Probably, regardless of which of those main things that you came here for, the main reason you decided to join today is because your current job or whatever you're doing right now isn't supporting the lifestyle you desire. Now, maybe that's because your current job is taking up all your time, so you don't have time to spend on things you really enjoy. Maybe it's because your current job is boring. That was the biggest reason for me choosing to start my own business, was simply because I really like to do things and take action and make things happen, and my current job was just boring. Maybe your current job is unfulfilling. You go there every day, you spend a lot of time there, but it's not really fulfilling, like making you feel fulfilled, and it's also not moving you towards your goals. And maybe it's not making you enough money. When you are working for someone else, there is a cap on your income, essentially. You know that no matter how hard you work, no matter how long you work there for, you're never going to make more than a certain amount. And so that might be a way that your job isn't supporting the lifestyle that you really desire. So you had this great idea. You could start an online business. I think that's a great idea. It's been probably the best idea I've ever had, right? Starting my own business and being able to be my own boss and have this flexible lifestyle. And so I think if that's the reason that you joined here today, then that is an awesome reason, because that's what we're going to be talking all about. Now, of course, there's a lot of reasons to start your own business, like you have a lot more flexibility. There's no cap on your income. You can always figure out ways to make more money and increase your profits. And it's fun. That's something I don't think enough people talk about in regards to starting an online business. But if you are bored with your current job, then starting an online business can be a great way to have more fun in life and to enjoy your work a lot more, because you get to decide exactly what you do and you're actually in control of your life and your schedule. Thanks, Laura. By the way, if you think I'm talking way too fast, tendency I have, but I just want to let you know I'm zooming through this intro because it's important stuff, but it's not the meat of the content. And I really want to make sure we have plenty of time to get into the meat and to dive deep with that. And I don't want to waste your time here on just the intro. So I'm talking extra fast right now to get through it. But once we get into the meat, into the main part of the workshop, I will slow down because I don't want to, overwhelm you. So, okay. So how's it going so far? How is your business building? How are you working towards your goals? Now, maybe you're still in the planning phases, or maybe you've already started, or maybe you're already making a living. But wherever you're at with your business building journey, today's workshop is going to be a big help for you because it's going to give you some valuable tools for getting your business to the next stage faster. So I know we were talking before we got started about where you guys are at, and it seems like a lot of you guys are at the beginning. And so the next stage might be simply getting your business off the ground. But wherever you're at, even if you are significantly beyond that, you are going to get a lot of value out of today's workshop, especially as we're talking through the 7-step framework for building a successful online business. And even if you're smack in the middle of that, seeing what the next several steps for you to really get to the highest level of success will be super valuable for you. All right. So, oops, I clicked the wrong spot. So by the end of today's workshop, you will, 1, know how to decide exactly which business to start. So that's the first thing we're going to talk about. Also, understand the big picture strategy for building a successful online business. Because once we've checked off box 1 and you've decided which business to start, you're going to need to know what to do next, right? That's only the first step. So we are going to walk you through all 7 steps. And then finally, you're going to know the 4 reasons that most online entrepreneurs fail and how to avoid those mistakes. Because, as I'm sure you know, most people who decide to start an online business never get past the first step. I don't know if you've noticed that, but they think the first step, in their mind is to decide I'm going to start an online business, but they never actually turn it into anything. They never actually make any money at it. And I don't want you to be most people. I want you to get extraordinary results and actually make money at it and actually be able to quit your job or support yourself doing something that you love. So that's why we're going to focus on those 4 reasons most entrepreneurs fail. Okay, so hi again. My name is Gillian Perkins, and here's a tiny zoom through my story. I started my first business way back in high school, and it was a local business, and I kind of started it accidentally almost. Best mistake of my life, probably. Not exactly a mistake, but just best happy accident of my life. Starting a business because other people asked me to, basically. But then some things happened. Like I had a couple kids, and right now I have a baby on the way, actually. But life happened. That's the long story short. And I got a little bit sidetracked, and I wasn't focusing on growing my business as much as I could or should. But I was still working in my local business until about 6 years ago when I started trying to build an online business, because I saw a lot of benefits there. I saw that that could provide a lot more flexibility and allow me to travel and to increase my income more than just with my local business. But that didn't go so well because it took me a long time to figure out how to actually turn it into a success. But I finally did figure it out after several years of just trying different things and reading so many business books and working with so many people who were ahead of me to learn what they had done to become successful. Finally figured out some things that really worked and a big picture strategy that actually works. And since that point, I've gone on to build 2 multiple 6-figure businesses in the past 2 years. And that's something I'm really proud of, both because of the accomplishment itself, but also because it shows that the strategy that I have now come up with actually works. Like, it's actually been proven. And that makes me so much more confident in sharing with you guys that this will actually work for you also, because I now help so many clients every single month. I help a few dozen clients every single month. So I've helped a few hundred clients at this point to build successful online businesses themselves. And I love seeing in action that the strategy works. So I made it my mission to cut through all the clutter and to show as many people as possible how simple it can really be to build a successful online biz, because I don't think that people should spend as much time as I did. And I really want to save people from wasting so much time and just the struggles that I felt, because it wasn't even so much the time, it was more just spending so much time feeling like nothing was working and feeling so frustrated and not knowing why. I was working 20, 30, or 40 hours a week on building my online business, and I was making no money for the first couple of years. So I just really want to save people that time and show them that building an online business doesn't have to be so hard. Okay, plus a few other facts about me. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a business strategist. I'm the author of the #1 international best-selling book, Sorted: Freedom Through Structure. I'm the owner of Aptus Creative Marketing, which is a small local and online marketing company that helps online businesses grow their audiences and make more sales. And I'm the founder of Startup Society. Okay, so like I said, I'm zooming through this because I know that your time is valuable and you came here for a reason. You came here because you want to learn how to build a successful online business, and I really respect your time, but I want you to respect your time too, okay? You chose to be here, so make sure that you are being present. We have a lot to cover today. I'm not just saying that. There's a lot of slides, believe me. So you will miss things if you are not very present and not trying to multitask. So I know everyone says this, but if you've got Facebook open, if you're trying to answer your emails at the same time, close out of those tabs. We've got an hour here. You put this hour on your calendar to do this with me, with all these other attendees today. So focus on this for 1 hour and learn what you need to learn to actually get started making money online and actually build a successful online business. I promise your hour will be well spent, okay? And that's really how you're gonna get the most value. By the end of today's workshop, we will have covered these three things. You'll know how to decide which business to start. You'll understand the big picture strategy for building a successful online business, and you'll know the 4 reasons that most entrepreneurs fail. Okay, so let's get into it. The first part, now I will talk a tiny bit slower. The first part, which business should you start? Okay, so you've got 3 options. The first one is a service-based business. The second one is a product-based business. And the third one is a content-based business. And we're going to talk about what each of those looks like and why you might want to choose one or the other. So first, what is a service-based business? A service-based business is a business where you are providing a service to your customers. It normally means that you're spending your time and you're doing some type of work for them. Here are a few examples: being a video editor, a virtual assistant, a transcriptionist, a copywriter, an ad manager, a social media manager. I know most of you who are here today found me on YouTube, and some of the most popular videos on my YouTube channel are about suggestions or ideas for businesses that you can run yourself. And a lot of those suggestions or ideas are service-based businesses. So we'll talk in just a moment about how to figure out if a service-based business is right for you. So if these statements resonate with you, if these sound like your personality assessment, if you got to the end of a quiz and these statements were at the end and you felt like, yes, that is me, then a service-based business might be a great fit for you. If you enjoy being skilled, continuing to improve your skill, and you appreciate a job well done. So if you have a really good work ethic and you really like doing work and being rewarded for work, a service-based business might be a great fit for you. Second statement, I have time, but maybe not a lot of money to invest. Now, when you run a service-based business, you generally are trading your hours for dollars. So you are, having to work a certain number of hours every week in order to get paid. But you do get paid. So if you have time to invest, but you don't have money to invest, a service-based business might be a great fit for you. A service-based business can get started making money the soonest of any of these businesses. You could literally start making money tomorrow with a service-based business, The things that you have to do first are the things that you have to do in order to get customers, but as soon as you start actually doing the work, then you will start getting paid. But a service-based business doesn't cost almost anything to start. So if you don't have much money to invest, a service-based business could be a good fit for you. So if you're at a place in your life right now where you're stuck and you're not sure how to, make your first dollar to start changing your situation, then you might want to choose a service-based business. And then the final statement here, it's important to me to get paid right away, and I don't enjoy risk. So the reason that this statement is here is because each of these different types of businesses involves a different amount of risk, risking time, risking money. And if you're someone who is not very risk tolerant, you don't enjoy risking your time or your money, then a service-based business is a great fit for you, because after you do the work, you get paid pretty much for sure, unless something goes wrong, but generally you get paid for sure. You know you're going to get paid, you know how much you're going to get paid, and you haven't risked that much to get there. All right, so moving on to the next slide here, let's talk about product-based businesses. Now, a product-based business is a business that sells some sort of product. Now, there's a lot of options here. It could be a digital product, it could be a physical product. It could be something that you made, or it could be something that someone else makes. It could be something that you sell on your website, or it could be something that you're selling on Amazon or some other website like that. So there are lots of options as far as which product, and of course, there's also all these different categories of product. Like you could sell kitchen gadgets, or you could sell cameras, you could sell ebooks, or you could sell CDs. So many different options, but that is what a product-based business is. Now, here are some statements that if you identify with, a product-based business might be a great fit for you. If you enjoy making calculated decisions and working with numbers, and I'll explain that further to say if you enjoy technical types of research. So not just like learning how to do things or pursuing a hobby or a passion, not like that, but if you enjoy doing technical research to figure out exactly which product to sell and how much to sell it for, and doing analysis of your competition and things like that, then a product-based business might be a great fit for you. Laura says, no way, LOL. Yeah, well, that's good. That means you can cross off a product-based business and know that that is not the right job for you. If you have money to invest, but maybe not a lot of time, product-based business might be good for you, because it does take a fair amount of money to either buy inventory or to manufacture inventory. Somehow you have to get stuff to sell. So you normally have to invest several $1,000s, if not tens of thousands of dollars or more, to get that inventory to sell. There are some workarounds, but normally a product-based business requires money investment. But maybe not a lot of time. A product-based business, because you're risking your money, you don't have to risk as much time. You can scale the business quite quickly, just depending on how much money you have to invest. And so you don't have to necessarily invest a lot of time. You're not having to spend your time working for others or creating content so much. It's more about making calculated decisions. And then the final statement, high risk, high reward opportunities excite me. So if you want to get a big gain and you enjoy risking a lot to get that big gain, you find that exciting and interesting, then a product-based business might be great for you. But if not, if that just sounds stressful and challenging and terrible, then you probably don't want to start a product-based business. Okay, so the third type of business is a content-based business. Now, this is the type of business that my YouTube channel is and my personal brand is. And basically what a content-based business does is it attracts people with content, so blog posts or videos or podcasts, and then it sells them normally other types of content, so more comprehensive types of content. For example, I might have a video, how to start a blog, and it tells people the 5-step process of starting a blog. And then I can turn around and offer them my complete course on how to start a blog that makes money or something like that, right? How to design your blog, how to set up your WordPress website. So there are more complete, comprehensive types of content that I can sell to people after they've expressed interest in a small kind of introductory type piece of content. Now, what a content-based business is it's a niche plus a delivery method. So here's what I mean by that. Here are some examples of niches: health or beauty or automotive repair or gardening, knitting, tennis, photography. I mean, there's an endless number of niches. I'm naming some of the more popular ones right here, but I know lots of people who have amazing businesses, amazing content-based businesses that are so niche and so specific that you wonder if it could possibly be a thing, but they have a big audience and they make plenty of money at it. So, knitting, I don't know. I don't even know how to think of these really random specific things. But knitting with a certain type of yarn, or not just health, but how to do a keto diet for women over 50. Okay, something like that. Something that is for a very specific audience at a very specific point, doing a very specific thing. You can be more broad or you can be more specific, but that is your niche, okay? Like, what are you talking about in your content-based business? How are you helping people? And then the second aspect of this is the delivery method. So you could have a blog or a podcast or a YouTube channel. There are a few more, but those are the main options. Basically, what is the main type of content that you're putting out into the world to find customers? So you could have, for example, a blog about gardening, or a YouTube channel about health, or a podcast about blogging. These are just some examples. So you need to combine a niche and a delivery method, and that is what your content-based business would be. And we're going to get into how to actually build the content-based business in the second part of this workshop today. So we're just trying to define what they are and figure out if it's a good fit for you right now. Here are some statements that, if they resonate with you, a content-based business might be a good fit for you. First, you're passionate about something. Now, we've all got stuff that we like doing, stuff that we're good at, right? But some people are really passionate about something. And the way you can figure this out is there something that you could talk all day about? Okay, maybe you are obsessive about makeup, okay, and you want to talk about makeup and beauty all day long. Maybe you are obsessive about dogs and you just love dogs and you could talk about dogs all day long, or about blogging, or about cooking, or about health. There's so many different things, of course, all these different niches, but if you have something like that, something that you could read about and talk about all day long, then a content-based business might be great for you, because it could really give you an outlet to talk about that to people and to share it with people. And that goes right along with the second statement. I enjoy learning and teaching others. If you're really passionate about something, then that probably applies to you. So post in the chat and share, if you are passionate about something, what that is that you are so passionate about. Because if you have something like that, then a content-based business might be a great fit for you. Now, content-based business doesn't require much money to invest. It requires a tiny bit for getting your blog set up, or for just things like that, like setting up your online business. Most of these do require a tiny bit of money like that, but it also requires time. The time it requires is different than for a service-based business, though. Both businesses require time, but for a service-based business, it's more about having a substantial amount of time every week to actually do the work for your customers. So, you need to spend 20 or 30 hours a week actually designing websites or editing videos or doing copyright, whatever it is, for a service-based business. For a content-based business, it's a little bit different. You might not spend very much time every week. It could just be 10 or 15 hours, but it's more about long-term time. So you have 6 months or a year to actually build your business before you start making money. And you're okay with that. And if you're not okay with that, then a content-based business probably isn't a good fit for you. If you need to start making money sooner, you probably want to go the service business route. You probably want to figure out a skill and learn how to do that skill and turn that into a business. Because a content-based business takes a little bit longer to actually get started and to get off the ground and really start making money with it. And so that brings us to the last statement. I'm willing to invest time and effort for the long-term gain. Long-term, a content-based business makes so much sense because you can make passive income with it. And so you can invest time this year so that next year you make money, and that you keep making money year after year after year without having to work a lot of hours every single week. I make 6 figures a year and I normally work less than 20 hours a week, except when I'm like doing a big launch or designing a new product or something like that. And then I put in some extra time. But the rest of the time, I can run my business working 15, 20 hours a week, no problem. I can take a month off if I want to because I have a passive income business model, which is this content-based business. So those two sound a bit the same to me, Laura said. Which two? Laura, if you could comment again and just say which two. Service-based business will give money faster, but so yes, a service-based business gives you money faster, and then a content-based business gives you money slower, but long-term, it's going to create residual income or passive income, so you will be able to keep making money even when you're not working. You just have to decide, do you want the money sooner or do you want more flexibility later? Okay, so let's keep going. So how do you create your dream business? So we've talked about, which type of business maybe would work the best for you. So you really need to think about how you spend your time. Before I finally started this business that I've been the most happy with, I was really trying to figure out, what career I wanted for myself. And so I would read all of these different career assessment type things and try to figure out, I'd look at like lists of college majors, and I was trying to decide, should I go back to school? Do I need to learn some specific skill? What do I want to spend my time doing? And I looked at all those lists of majors and different careers, and none of them really stood out to me and resonated with me, and I couldn't figure out why. And I finally realized it was because how I wanted to spend my time wasn't in alignment with any of those jobs. Most any job that you learn how to do by getting a degree, not all of them, but most of them, are basically service-based businesses where you're performing a service for a company. So you're gonna, work at a company as a web designer, or you're gonna work at a company of some sort as a psychologist even, something like that. And I didn't want to spend my time doing those types of work. And what I finally realized was, for me, I wanted to spend my time sharing with others. I wanted to spend my time writing and making videos even, and like things like that. That was what really lit me up and made me feel interested and excited. I wanted to spend my time learning and sharing with others. And so that's why content-based business was a good fit for me. So instead of thinking about like, what do you want to do or what kind of business do you want to start, just start with, how do you want to spend your time? Do you want to spend your time performing a service for others? And if so, what kind of service would you like to do for others? Or do you want to spend your time writing? Or do you want to spend your time speaking? Or do you want to spend your time doing analysis and making decisions and run a product-based business? So you can spend time outside of the workshop making a list of how you really enjoy spending your time. Second question, do you have a passion that you want to turn into a business? This is kind of what we were talking about earlier with a content-based business. If you have a passion that you want to turn into a business, then content-based business is probably good for you, although you could apply that to like a service-based or product-based business. You could sell products that are for a certain, in a certain niche or for a certain industry, a certain type of person, or you could do services for a certain type of person. So maybe you're really passionate about pets and, like dogs, cats. And so maybe you want to be a web designer for pet care companies, for example. If you're really passionate about it, a content-based business probably is the best fit for you. But that's the second thing when you're thinking about designing the perfect business for you. First, how do you want to spend your time? Second, what are you passionate about, or are you passionate about something? Third question, as you're trying to decide, is do you have more time to invest or do you have more money to invest? If you have more time to invest, then a service-based business or a content-based business is a good option. If you have more money to invest, then a product-based business could be the best option. Although I don't think that this should be the deciding question, because you could have money to invest, but that doesn't mean you should start a product-based business, right? Maybe you want to start a service-based or a content-based business. So, but this is just kind of, will tell you which one is possible, okay? If you don't have money, you can't start a product-based business, basically. One thing that I forgot to say earlier was that because there isn't a replay of this workshop available, you might want to take screenshots of some of these slides for you to review later. So I'm actually just going to go back real quick for these 3 questions because I think that they're really important. So if you want to take a screenshot here, how do you enjoy spending your time? You can take a screenshot. And then here, you could take a screenshot of, do you have a passion you'd like to turn into a business? Just because these are like the questions that are going to be the most helpful for you as you're figuring out which type of business to start. And then here, and again, you could take a screenshot or you could write it down. Do you have more time to invest or more money? Okay, so just to kind of recap, service-based businesses are good if you enjoy developing skills and exercising them, if you have a good work ethic, if you have time to invest but maybe not money, and if making money sooner is important. If those sound like things that are important to you and things that are true of you, then a service-based business is the right fit. Product-based business. If you enjoy calculating and technical research, if you are well organized, you have money to invest, and you enjoy high risk, high reward. So if those sound like you, then you might want a product-based business. And then for a content-based business, if you enjoy learning and sharing, if you are creative and you enjoy flexibility and freedom, if you have time to invest but maybe not a lot of money, and then finally, if you're willing to invest time and effort for long-term gain. And so the most important things here is, are you passionate about something? Like, do you have something that you want to talk about all day long? And then, do you have time and effort that you're willing to invest for the long-term gain? So someone commented and they said, I would like to do content down the road, but I really need to do something to get money now. So I would enjoy doing both, honestly. And that is a great way to look at it. And a lot of people take that route where they start a business that is geared, like targeting a certain type of audience or customer. So maybe your business is for people who want to get healthy, for example. So you start the business, and when you're first starting out, you focus on offering services so that you can make money sooner. So maybe you help people with meal planning and you provide like a meal planning service or a health coaching service, something like that. And then as your business grows, you can turn it into more of a content-based business. As your audience has grown, then you're able to start selling digital products and making passive income. And that is a great route that a lot of people end up taking. All right, so we have covered the first point, and now we're going to move on to the second point, which is understanding the big picture strategy for building a successful online business. Okay, so before we talk about like step one of the process, we need to just establish how is money made, because thinking about this relatively simple question can really help you understand how to make money online and what this big picture needs to look like. So how is money made? Let's go back. How is money made? So basically, money is made when you sell something to someone. Like someone has to spend money for you to get money. You don't necessarily have to, sell them a computer and they give you cash. That's not how this has to work. It could be someone clicking on an ad on my YouTube video, and then the company that ran the ad pays YouTube some money and YouTube pays me some money, okay? So I wasn't selling something directly to someone, but someone still spent money. The business spent money, and I made the money. Okay, so I was providing some type of value, and I was getting paid for it by someone who is spending money. So in order to make the money, you need two different things. You need people to spend the money, and you need something to sell, right? So understanding that big picture of how money is made, someone buys something and spends money, can really help to just make this a lot more clear. So we're going to talk about the 7 steps for building a successful online business. What we've just been talking about choosing the business, that is what I call step 0, deciding. But the rest of these steps 1 through 7, are all about actually building the business. Now, this is maybe the most important thing I want you guys to take away from our time here today. Doing the right thing at the wrong time won't get you anywhere. So we've got these 7 steps, which we'll get into in just a moment. But if you're focused on working on step 6 in the process, but you haven't done steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 first, then you're going to just be completely wasting your time because you don't have the foundation for it to work. And so you'll just be frustrated and wondering, like, I'm trying so hard to automate my business and to make my business automatically make sales or something like that. Why isn't this working? But the problem is because you don't have an audience yet, or your branding isn't, worked out, or you haven't chosen the right product. There's so many things that you need to do, and you have to do them in the right order. So unless you want to waste time and money, then you need a strategy that tells you what to do next. You need to say, okay, first I'm going to focus on this, then I'm going to focus on this, and then I'm going to focus on this. It needs to be logical, and it needs to be a proven strategy, not just something that you made up and you thought, oh, this sounds good. Of course you can do that and it might work out, but it makes a lot more sense to use a strategy that someone who has built a business already, or built several businesses, can tell you, this works. I did this and it works. All right, so here is the 7-step strategy for building a successful online business. Now, we were talking about step 0, which is choosing which business to start. And now we've got these 7 steps, and that's what we're going to be talking about for the next 30 minutes or so here. We'll try to not make it take way too long, okay? So as you can see, the 7 steps are divided into 3 phases. The first phase, steps 1, 2, and 3, are building your audience. Now you have to do this first because this is getting the people who are going to spend the money, okay? Then the second phase is making money, and a big mistake that we'll talk about more later on is that a lot of people try to just start making money, but they haven't done step 1 first. They haven't built their audience. Okay, and then the final phase is grow your business. So once you've built your audience, once you're making money, then there are some things you can do to really take your business to the next level. Okay, this is the 7-step process that I teach to all my one-on-one clients, and I work with them one-on-one to put each of these steps into action and to move on to the next step. And it's also the 7-step process that we're now teaching inside of Startup Success, which is the main Startup Society workshop. So that's what I'm going to teach you what it is today, so that you can have this big picture and start making money for yourself and building your online business the right way with a really informed strategy. Okay, enough words. Let's move on. So phase 1 is building your audience. Now you need people. Remember how money is made? You have to have someone spend money on something. So you need people. So first we have to focus on building your audience. The first step inside of building your audience, the first step of the 7 steps, is to create a clear and compelling message. Who is your audience and what do they want? If you aren't clear about what your message to the world is, then nobody else is going to be clear either, and they won't know why they should follow you or pay any attention to you. So first you need to figure out, who are you talking to? And this comes down to, a lot of people, let's back up a tiny bit. A lot of people get caught up in demographics when they are asked this question. When they're trying to figure out who their customer is or who their audience is, who they're talking to, they start saying things like, I help women in their 50s who make $50,000 per year or more and have a pet dog and no children, okay, something like that. And they get really caught up in the demographics. Now, demographics can be amazingly helpful, but when you're trying to figure out who your customer is and who you're trying to attract, there is one thing that matters so much more than demographics, and that is, what do they want? So what desire do all of these people have in common? It doesn't matter so much whether they're women or how much money they make or how many kids they have. All of those things can be incredibly helpful as you're figuring out how to talk to them and exactly what wording to use, and lots of different things like that. But the first most important thing is just, what do they want? Everyone who is following you is going to have something in common, and it's that they're all going to want at least one thing that is the same. So maybe they all want to lose weight. Maybe they all want to start a successful blog. Maybe they all want to learn how to buy their first house, okay? They all want something, and you have to be really clear about exactly what it is they want and the deeper reasons that they want it. Okay, then the next part of this is, who are you and how can you help your audience get what they want? And so remember here, we're talking about the first step. The first step is to create a clear and compelling message for your brand, okay? And these are the steps that you need to follow in order to create that message. You have to know who your customer is and what do they want, and you have to know who you are and how you can help them get what they want. So maybe you're their coach and you can teach them the process for doing that, okay? Or maybe you're an author who also struggled to lose weight and you can teach them a diet that works, okay? Or maybe you're a realtor and you sell houses and you can teach them how to buy their first house, okay? So who are you and how can you help them? And so those are the main two things that you need to focus on with your message. There's definitely more details that you can include in your message to make your message even more compelling. But the main two things are who is your audience and what do they want? And then who are you and how can you help them get what you want? And if you can get clear on those two things, then your message will become so much more powerful. And if you're wondering, like, why is it important to have a message and to have like a powerful message, the reason is because it tells people why they would follow you. Okay, if you aren't clear about who you help and you aren't clear about what they want, then you're not going to be able to communicate effectively and tell them what they can get out of subscribing to your YouTube channel or signing up for your email list or buying your program. So these are the things you need to be clear about before you move on to step 2, which is looking the part. So step 2 in the 7-step process is basically your visual branding. So it's making sure that you look like a professional and like you look like what people want to follow. Because like it or not, people do judge first on appearance, especially online. And the reason for that is because it's all they have to go off of. So whether or not you think people should judge on appearance or not, the fact is when they find you online, the only thing that they have to judge you on is your appearance. They don't know who you are. They don't know if you're a good person. They don't even know if you know what you're talking about. And so they're just going to look at your website or look at your YouTube video, and they're going to decide whether or not to trust you and whether or not they think on a subconscious level if you can help them or not. And if they think you can help them, and that might be help them lose weight or buy a house, or it might be help them be entertained and be not bored or be understood. You know, it could be something deeper like that. But if they think based on your appearance that you can help them and that they can trust you, then they will choose to follow you or subscribe or buy from you. And if they don't think that, then they're not going to. They're just going to click away. They're going to, you know, in their mind, on a subconscious level, think, okay, this person isn't helping me get to where I want to get. And so they will just forget about you. And so that's why visual branding is so important. So your website needs to look professional, attractive, and consistent. Okay, you need to look like you know what you're talking about. You need to look interesting and nice, right? That's the attractive part. And then it needs to look consistent so that it looks like you have your stuff together. Okay, if you are all scattered and none of your images match and your fonts don't match and things look messy, then people will feel like you don't have stuff together and you probably can't help them. They'll feel like basically they can't trust you. Okay, so that's why visual appearance is so important and why it is step 2. All right, step 3 is get visible. I know some people don't like this because they don't know how. I think that's the biggest reason people don't like this. But the fact is that people cannot follow you or buy from you if they don't know you exist. If someone has never heard of you, then they cannot buy from you. So it is absolutely essential that you have a strategy for getting visible. The reason this is step 3 and not step 1 is because visibility doesn't help unless you have a clear message and you have a good looking brand. You could get on every single podcast, you could get on every single TV show, okay? But if you aren't a person who people have an interest in for one reason or another, or your company isn't interesting to people for one reason or another, then that exposure isn't going to do you any good, okay? If they just like hear your name recognition, I'm not saying it's not helpful at all, but it's so much more powerful if there's something behind it, if there's a compelling message behind it and a beautiful brand behind it. So now if you could plaster yourself on every billboard in the country and that was possible, and then maybe you would do it, right? But when you're just starting out, you can't. Okay, visibility is a little bit hard to come by at first. And so doing steps 1 and 2 first and really getting your brand in order and making it be something that's going to convert people from having heard you to actually following you will mean that your visibility will go so much further. someone will hear about you, you know, you'll write a guest blog post, or you'll do a collaborative video or something like that, okay? Or you'll buy some advertising even. And someone will hear of you and they will immediately say, wow, this person is offering exactly what I need. You know, I want to buy my first house, and here's a realtor who teaches people how to buy their house, how to buy their first house. And they have a beautiful website that, you know, clearly shows that they're a professional and they know what they're talking about. Now, they might not think all those things, but on a subconscious level, that's what they will perceive. And it means that you will have to show your ad or whatever it is to much fewer number of people in order to get the same results and to really grow your audience a lot faster. Okay, so how do you get visible? Here are just a couple ideas. We don't have time to dive super deep into this, but create awesome something in a public space. So this could mean that you're writing amazing blog posts or creating amazing YouTube videos, or it could be that you're like designing a beautiful website if you're a website designer, and you are somehow sharing that with people. So like you make a YouTube video about designing a beautiful website. But you do something impressive, something that really stands out, and you do it publicly. Or you can collaborate with people who already have an audience. So you could do a collaborative video with another YouTube channel, or maybe there's another business that has an audience that wants similar things to yours, and so you do a joint promotion. There are lots of different ways that you can work with people who already have an audience, and you can sell something or you can offer something to their audience. A really common way to do this is to be a guest on a podcast. You bring the value to the podcast, and the podcast host has the audience already. And then the final way is to pay for it. And when you're first starting out, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this. Basically, I'm talking about buying advertising like Facebook ads or Google ads. But if you have your message, if you have a powerful message and your brand looks really professional and nice, then paying for advertising can be a really good investment into your business and a great way to get exposure faster. All right, so that is the first phase, building your audience. And just to recap, there are 3 steps in this first phase. First, you need to create a clear and really compelling message that gives your audience, your potential audience, a reason to follow you and to want to learn more. The second part is looking the part, your visual branding, making sure that you have a presence online that looks nice, because that's how people are going to judge you and decide if they can trust you or not. And then the third part is getting visible, because people can't buy from you if they don't know you exist. All right, so that was the first phase, and now we're moving on to the second phase, which is making money. So you have the people now, and now you can actually start helping them even more, okay? So basically what's going on here is they have found you because they have some desire, and you've said something and looked a certain way that makes them believe that you can help them out, okay? So you've offered them some free advice, or like via a blog post or a YouTube video, or they've seen an ad that offered them something free, okay? In some way or other, you have attracted them, and they now are interested in what you're doing. And so now the question is, how can you help them more? What can you give them that they would get them closer to their goals, help them to satisfy their desires, whatever it is they want? So if they want to lose weight, how can you help them lose more weight, or lose weight faster, or lose weight more successfully? If they want to train their dog, I use this example all the time, I don't know why, I don't have a dog, but if they want to train their dog, they came to you because you had a video about like how to potty train your puppy, and now you can help them more by giving them a complete course on how to train their dog, or by offering them one-on-one coaching on how to train their dog, okay? Okay, so the fourth step, you've done steps 1, 2, 3. Now, step 4 is to create a product your customers want. And this is really the easy step if you've done steps 1, 2, and 3 the right way, because not only did you get really clear about who your customers are and what they want at the very beginning, but then in step 3, you attracted them. Okay, you got visible, and now you have the audience, so you can just ask them what they want practically. So, I mean, you have a general idea, but now you can like give them a poll and say, are you more interested in learning, like I do, you know, are you more interested in learning how to get traffic for your blog or subscribers for your YouTube channel? And then people can answer and tell you if you have an audience. When you don't have an audience, that's kind of tough, okay? And that's why I strongly encourage you to focus on getting your audience first, okay? So a product isn't necessarily a physical object. You just need to keep that in mind. When I say product, it might be a toothbrush or a pot or a kettle, you know, but it also might be an ebook, or it could even be a service that you're selling. So like I said, this can apply to any type of business. So your product might be a beautifully designed website, or a professionally edited video, or editing service for their book, or virtual assistants. That could be a product in the general sense of the term. And remember, it can be something you make and sell, or it can be something that someone else already made. So maybe you're, you know, handcrafting something, or maybe you're writing an ebook, or maybe someone else made something and is selling it on Amazon, and you're just giving a link to it and getting an affiliate commission, okay? So there's a lot of different options for what type of product it is, but the main thing to remember is it needs to be something your customers actually want. So what is the end result they're going for? Do they want to buy their first house? Do they want to fix their car? Do they want their computer to run more smoothly? Do they want to be entertained? Do they want to feel like someone understands them? What is it that they want, and how can you give them that? How can you deliver that in a product? I'm getting ahead of myself here. Okay, so that's step 4, choosing a product your customers actually want. Now, step 5 is turning your followers into buyers. So if you ever heard of a sales funnel, that's basically what step 5 is about. The difference, kind of, is that a lot of the time when people talk about a sales funnel, they're talking about starting with cold traffic, and they're talking about the whole process of like taking cold traffic and getting them to follow you, and then getting them to buy something small and getting them to buy something big, all that. But following this system, that is the system that I found that truly works the most successfully. Sorry, I can talk, I promise. The 7-step system, this is what I found builds businesses the most solidly and the most consistently. And what I mean by that is you can whip up a sales funnel and try to start making money instantly, but most of the time that doesn't work because you haven't gotten your audience first, and so you haven't had a conversation with them, and you're not really clear, you haven't communicated with them well enough to figure out what they truly want. So in this strategy that I'm teaching you today, we're getting the audience first so that we can really talk to them, develop a good relationship with them, figure out what they really want. Now we have the product, and now all we have to do is turn them into buyers, which is super easy because we're not selling. All we're doing is showing them how the product that we've found or created can help them get exactly what they want. So they already know what they want. We just remind them, what do you want? Showing your customers what they want, and then we just show them how the product can deliver that. So, okay, you're a woman who wants to lose weight, you're having trouble losing weight around your belly, okay, you know exactly what they want, and this product, you know, this belt that goes around your belly or whatever it is, okay, or this coaching package, this will help you do this. How? Okay, but you have to show them how. You have to say, like, it vibrates the fat on your belly and it makes it all go away. Watch this video and see how it works. Or, you know, I've worked with all these clients over my 6-week program and helped them retrain their eating habits so that they started eating in a way that helped them become thinner. Okay, so you're just showing your customer how the process works, and then if they want it, they will buy from you because they trust you already. And the problem with trying to just whip up a sales funnel and like make money overnight is that there's no time to establish that trust. But when you build your audience first, you not only know what they want, but you build a relationship with them so that they trust you. And then when you tell them this product will help you get exactly what you want, they will buy from you because they will believe you because they've already gotten to know you and they trust you. Okay, and as far as like how to actually implement this, a simple series of emails can work great to convince someone to buy, just explaining to them in the first email, like, here's the problem you have, here's the solution you're looking for, it's possible, so kind of like inspiring them, and then another email that tells them what's getting in their way, and another email that tells them the solution and like, I found this amazing product that can really help you out, or over the past 3 months, we've been developing this new product. It doesn't have to get complicated. Advanced tactics can help you get even better results by like adding video or things like that, or by using Facebook ads, but just start simple. A series of emails to the audience that you've already developed can take you really far. Okay, so that is making money. Just to recap, there are 2 steps. The 4th step is to find a product that your customers actually want, that your audience actually wants. Very important, okay? And then the 2nd step, step 5, is to turn your followers into buyers, okay? Which doesn't have to be complicated. Since you already have a relationship with them, you already know what they want, you can simply show them how it works and offer it to them, and it really is quite easy to make sales. Okay, so here's the big picture again, zooming back out. We've talked about phase 1, building your audience. We've talked about phase 2, making money. And now the last phase, which we won't go very deep on because I know most of you aren't there, phase 3, grow. Okay, so your company is making money now, and you've built something awesome, something that's helping a lot of people, and you're getting paid to do it. I mean, that is extremely satisfying and probably would satisfy most of your goals at this point. But once you get there, you can take it a step further. It can get even better, okay? And here's how. 2 things. 1, you could be spending less time running your business. And how you can do that is by automating your business. Time is your most valuable resource. It's the only thing you can't get more of. And if you can run your business in less time, then you can have more free time to do other stuff, but you also can have more time to help more people. So, I mean, you can decide how you want to invest the time that you reclaim, but automating your business, step 6, can really help you to get more time to spend however you like. So there's lots of different ways you can do this, but the main ones are getting your business more organized so that things run more smoothly, creating systems, again, basically, so that things run more smoothly, so that you're not having to like figure out over and over again how to do a certain process. Also automating, so there's software you can use basically to make things happen automatically. So if someone gets their product automatically, or something ships automatically, or people get emails automatically. And then finally, delegating or outsourcing. So hiring people, whether they be subcontractors or employees, people who help you so that you're not trying to do everything yourself. Okay? So like I said, not going to get super deep on that because I know that this isn't where you need to focus right now, but just be aware. Step 6 is automate your business because that can help you get more time. Okay, and then finally, step 7, which is scale your sales. Your business is awesome. You're making money doing things that you love. You're helping a lot of people. But the 2 things that can make it more awesome is step 6, getting your time back, so spending less time running your business. And then step 7, making more money, okay? That is kind of like the last phase of building your business, is just scaling it and making more and more money, increasing your profits. Now, you can take this as far as you want. Maybe you get to step 7, just like get there, and you're like, okay, I'm good. I'm not spending very much time on my business. It's supporting my lifestyle. I'm good now. But maybe you want to grow it even further, and that's totally possible because you've built such a solid business and such a business that's running so well and has such a good foundation. So step 7, you can, like I said, you can do it as much as you want. You can serve more people by scaling your marketing to grow your visibility. What does scale your sales mean? Great question. So scale just means to kind of like up level or grow to a bigger level, and then sales, you know what sales are. So basically I'm just talking about making more money, taking your profits to the next level, growing your profits, okay? And here's are some ways that you can do that. So you can serve more people, which you can do that by scaling your marketing to grow visibility. So you can invest money or time into marketing your business and get more customers, or you can increase your prices by making your results even more valuable. So maybe you figure out a new way to get people results, a way that gets people better results, or you just reposition yourself in the market a little bit and position yourself as a premium brand that people are willing to pay more for. People buy makeup brushes, right? And they buy cheap makeup brushes and they buy really expensive makeup brushes. And the difference there is all in the positioning. So you can buy those makeup brushes at Walmart and you pay a couple bucks for them, or you can buy makeup brushes that cost a couple $100 And the difference is that the expensive makeup brushes have been positioned as a premium brand and they're very good quality. So you can increase your prices here and make more money by repositioning yourself and making your product even more valuable. And then finally, you could just sell more units, which is possible if you create additional products. You can sell them to your existing customers. So for example, with the dog training business, you made an initial product that is like a dog training course, and you've sold it to your customers. But now you find out that some of your customers are interested in another product, how to like train their dog for a dog show. So you make another product for that. And so you haven't gotten more customers, but you're able to make more sales because you've broadened your product line. Okay, like I said, we're not going to get deep into that because I know most of you are not there. If you want more help with that, feel free to reach out to me and we can talk about how to grow your business to those higher levels also. But right now, I just want you to understand the big picture strategy for building a successful online business, and that's what we just talked about. And like I said before, the reason this is so important is because these steps are in this order for a reason. And if you're trying to work on like step 6 and automate your business before you've done all the steps that come before it, then you're just going to be frustrated with why your business isn't doing better, because it's not really going to work. Anything that you try to do to automate your business, like for example, if you were to hire an assistant, that would be one way to automate your business. You hire an assistant, you think, oh, this person is going to save me so much time, but instead you just end up feeling frustrated because you're losing money, because you're spending money on that assistant, but you're not making any more money because you don't have an audience yet, okay? Or so many people try to focus on making money, so that middle phase, and so they're trying to sell some product, but they don't have an audience yet. So that's why it's so important, and why I want that to be your biggest takeaway today, is doing things in the right order really matters. Okay, so just like I promised, we have talked about knowing how to decide exactly which business to start. We talked about some different questions you could ask yourself to figure out what type of business would be best for you. And then in the second part, we just talked through the big picture strategy for building a successful online business. And now we're moving on to the third part, where you are going to find out the 4 reasons that most online entrepreneurs fail and how to avoid those. Okay, so we've touched on a few of these before, but we're going to get a little bit deeper with them now. Tactics, not strategy. Okay, so we need some definitions here, I think. Strategy is the big picture plan of how you're going to reach your goal. So you want to build a successful online business? The strategy is the 7 steps that we just talked about. Okay, it's what order you're doing things in order to reach your big goal. Tactics, on the other hand, are what you learn in most blog posts, YouTube videos, and podcasts, and they are how to do a specific little thing. So like Facebook ads are a tactic, or what is another example of a tactic? Like SEO for your blog, that's a tactic. There are lots of sales tactics for like how to sell people things, or tactics for how to get more customers, okay? Important stuff that can really help you grow your business. But if you don't understand the difference between tactics and strategy, and you don't have a strategy, then you're going to be doing the tactics at the wrong time, and they won't get you anywhere. So blog posts, YouTube videos, and podcasts are great for teaching you tactics, but they almost always focus on tactics. So if you are just consuming those and you're trying to implement, you're just going to end up feeling very frustrated and wondering why you're not being more successful. You're learning all this stuff. You have so much knowledge in your brain, but it's not helping you. And the reason why is because you're not fitting those things into a big picture strategy. Okay, now we've definitely touched on this one, but the second reason that most people fail is because they focus on trying to make money before they've built an audience. Now, the plain and simple truth is phase 1 has to come before phase 2, because you can't sell something unless you have someone to sell it to. And so let's see. Let's answer this question. Is paid advertising a shortcut? Sometimes people say, oh, I don't have to build my audience first. I'm just going to run Facebook ads. I'm all for Facebook ads. Facebook ads are great, but that doesn't mean you're not building your audience. That just means that you're using Facebook ads to build your audience. You still need to make sure that you have a compelling message for your business, that it gives people a reason to pay attention to you. You still need to make sure that you have a professional, consistent appearance online, or else people will think that they can't trust you. So is paid advertising a shortcut? No, it can be a way to accelerate your results. If you want to invest money into Facebook ads or Google ads or YouTube ads, you can do that, but it's not a shortcut. It's just kind of an accelerator. How to make money as an attorney. So being an attorney is a great way to make money. So if I wanted to make a lot of money and be rich, I might decide to make money as an attorney. But I could research how to make money as an attorney. Like I could Google how to make money as an attorney, or how to market myself as an attorney, how to get more customers, things like that. And I would probably find some great blog posts and maybe some videos all about marketing strategies for attorneys. So I'd find out like how to get more customers in the door, how to raise my prices, how to advertise, and all of the information I would find, well, not all of it, but I'd find a lot of good information, right? But I could work my butt off trying to do all those things and make money as an attorney, but I probably wouldn't make any money as an attorney if I skipped phase one of being an attorney. And phase one of being an attorney and making money as an attorney is getting your law degree and taking the bar, right? And so if you try to skip phase one and just jump to the make money phase, then it's not going to work. Another analogy here is, imagine if I was trying to run like a fundraiser dinner. I wanted to have a fundraiser dinner to make money for a good cause. And so I do everything you have to do to have a good fundraiser. I like rented a nice space and I decorated it really nice. And I even put together a nice program that was going to convince people to donate. And then I cooked a delicious dinner that was going to just make people think that they had such a good experience that they really should donate money. And so then I'm like, okay, now all I need is some people to donate money. And so I start like walking around the neighborhood and trying to invite people to come to my dinner and donate money. And do you think that would work? Probably not, right? Most people would probably not even be home, and the people who are home would be busy doing something else. And people would say like, oh, that's a great idea. Sorry, I can't make it. I'm busy doing this, or I haven't thought about it yet, or I had other plans today. So, right? That wouldn't really work. And so many people try to run their businesses that way and build their businesses. They first set up this great business and they have a great product and they have this sales funnel that's going to turn their followers into buyers, but they don't have any followers yet, okay? And so then after they set all this up, then they go and they try to find customers. But the people aren't really interested and they wonder why they can't convince anyone to buy. And it's because they didn't give the people any warning. The people, have other plans and they're not ready to buy. So that's why it's so important to find your audience first, because the people really are the most important part in developing a relationship with them. All right. The third reason that most people fail is because of overwhelm. You're reading all those blogs, all those YouTube videos, all those podcasts, and you're getting all these tactics in your brain, and it's so overwhelming because you don't have a big picture strategy to put it all together. So you know so much, but you're not sure how to really put it into practice and take action on it. And part of the reason is just because you don't have a strategy. Now, how to be a good cook. Are you a good cook? I'm a pretty good cook. How to be a good cook? Well, the first step is you buy a cookbook, okay? You don't have to like try really hard to be a good cook or research how to be a good cook. That's not how you become a good cook. All you have to do is buy a cookbook and then follow the recipes. You don't have to be an amazing cook to make good food. If you want to make good food, all you have to do is buy a cookbook and follow the recipes and then learn with practice. So if you're just trying to figure out how to become a good cook and you don't have anyone guiding you or you don't have a cookbook, then you're going to be shooting in the dark. It would take you literally years to figure out how to actually be a good cook if you're just trying to figure it out on your own. But anyone can follow instructions. So if you simply buy a cookbook and follow the recipes, then you can practice making good food and you'll learn how to become a better and a better cook so that you can, in the future, wing it and just whip something up and it will taste amazing. But it takes practice, and you have to practice doing the right thing, not just keep trying doing the wrong thing. All right, then the fourth reason why people fail is because they quit. Now, when you have a goal, that's your end destination. You're trying to achieve something, but between here and there, it takes time, right? You have to build a business, and you can't just do that overnight. It takes time. And so there's a lot of things that can distract you along the way, a lot of things that can derail you and make you not be successful. You could get overwhelmed by all of the steps and by all of the tactics that you're learning, or you could lose motivation because being an entrepreneur is not the most common route that people take, right? There's reasons that you decided to be an entrepreneur. You want the flexibility, you don't want to have that cap on your income, you want to be able to work on your own schedule and actually have control of your life. But the people around you, your friends and your family, they might not quite get that, and they might wonder why you don't just go get a job or why you're trying to do this weird thing that they don't fully understand. So you might lose motivation because you're not getting the encouragement that you need. And then also we might let other things just get our attention. We might get distracted by something shiny, whether that's a tactic that we think we want to try, like, oh, Facebook ads, oh, webinars, things like that. But we also might get distracted by other business ideas. So we really need to stay focused on our goals if we don't want to let this happen to us and just quit on our goals and not successfully reach our goals. Okay, so just like I promised at the beginning, we've covered these three things. You now know how to decide exactly which business to start. And then in the second part, we talked about how to understand the big picture strategy for building a successful online business. And so now you know what the 7-step process is, and now you're not going to make that mistake of trying to skip step 2 or skip step 4, but you will be able to implement those tactics in the right order. And then the third thing was we talked about the 4 reasons that most online entrepreneurs and how to avoid those mistakes. So now you have everything that you need in order to succeed. You know what the big picture strategy is, and you also know what mistakes you need to avoid so that you don't fail, right? So my question for you is, will you? Will you succeed? Answer that question for yourself. You can answer in the chat if you want. Do you think that you're going to succeed? And the reason I wanted to ask you that question, yes, okay, good. I love you guys' attitude. But the reason I ask is because most people don't, right? Most people say they want to start something, but for some reason, it never becomes a success. Sometimes they never get started. Sometimes they never take action on actually turning it into something that really works. And sometimes they start, but they just never make any money out of it and they don't know why. So yes, you will succeed, right? But some of you might understand that there's a few more things that you still need. Now, we talked about these 4 reasons why people might fail. And we've already, in today's workshop, we covered the tactics versus strategy. So you're not going to make that mistake, right? You know now the difference between tactics and strategy, and you know that you need to not get distracted by all of those little tactics, but instead just focus on the long-term strategy. So you're not going to make that mistake. That won't make you fail. Now, the second one, trying to make money before building an audience, that's not going to get you either, because we have talked a lot today about how important it is to build your audience first. So you will definitely be able to avoid that mistake. What about the third one, though? Being unsure or overwhelmed by the how. So you might feel overwhelmed, and this could be a reason why you still could fail, because there still is a lot of information out there, a lot of things you need to do. And so I wanted to figure out a way to really help you avoid this mistake and be able to become successful, because like I said, at the very beginning, my mission is to help as many people as possible understand how simple it can be to build an online business. And so I was asking myself, how can we solve these problems? What can we do to help more people become successful and to help more people realize their goals of building a successful online business? So what you need to do to overcome that is to get the training that you need and to learn how to actually build the business, because having the strategy is great and that is incredibly important. But you have to learn how to do step 1. You have to learn how to actually develop your message that will convince people to follow you. You have to learn how to create a brand that looks professional and will convince people to trust you. You have to learn how to get visibility. So that's the first thing you need to do. You need to make sure that you get the training and that you learn how to take each of those steps. And remember that quality and clarity in training is way more important than quantity. You don't need to learn a ton of stuff. You just need to learn it really well and to learn what actually works. So that is why I founded Startup Society. Startup Society is my comprehensive training program for action-taking entrepreneurs. We have several hundred entrepreneurial members inside who are all working together to build successful online businesses, and they all have unlimited access to my training courses that teach you step by step how to do each of these things. And inside Startup Society, you get clear, actionable courses that provide step-by-step instructions for exactly what to do and exactly how to do it. So that 7-step process that we talked about today for building a successful online business, inside Startup Society, there's courses that teach you how to create a message that attracts people and how to brand yourself in a way that really convinces people you know what you're talking about, and how to get visibility and how to choose an amazing product. And that's really what Startup Society is. We've got this 7-step program that we talked about today. And inside Startup Society, there's actually a live 8-week course, because we start with the 0 step. And it walks you through every single step of this process, where we have several video lessons about every single step. So, I mean, today we were spending a couple minutes on each step, and we barely brushed the surface. We barely scraped the surface. What's the expression there? I'm not sure. But we barely touched on the surface of how to do each of these things. But inside Startup Society, you get access to our Startup Success program, where we spend several videos actually teaching you how to get visibility or how to choose the perfect product. And we call this the Startup Success Business Building Roadmap. Yes, okay, and so it runs live from July through August. But all of the content is available after that for you to review at any time. So you don't have to show up live, but we as a group, we walk through it live then. I'm getting ahead of myself again. So this solves the problem of being overwhelmed and about being not sure what to work on when. It allows you to really take action on what we talked about without getting distracted and without always knowing what to do next. I think that that's the biggest thing that I want you to understand about Startup Society and about the 7-step plan, is that knowing what to do next and actually how to do it will be the difference between success and between getting stuck and not knowing how to build your business and how to take it to the next level and how to actually make money online and create that success that you desire. Plus, okay, that's not all that you get. You don't just get that 7-step program. You also get unlimited access to all of my courses. So if you've known me for any amount of time, then you know that every month I release a brand new online course about a different topic. Last month, we were doing the YouTube channel launch workshop, and we had a few hundred people join us for that. And it's a complete program that teaches you everything you need to know about starting a successful YouTube channel and growing it and making money with it. And then a couple months ago, we did the bestseller book launch that teaches you how to successfully launch your own book. There's been a whole bunch of these different workshops: how to build your email list, how to set goals and plan to reach them, how to attract clients online. And as a Startup Society member, you get unlimited access to all of these courses. Okay, so Startup Society gives you the how-to, but then I asked myself, what would still hold people back? Because my biggest thing is I really want as many people as possible to be successful. And so I'm trying to figure out, what is still going to hold people back, what is going to derail them and make it so they don't achieve these big goals of theirs. And so what I realized was that even though you can have a plan and have the tools, something could still make you not be successful. And so a couple weeks ago, I went to IKEA and I bought a new desk. And as you know, furniture from IKEA comes in a box and you have to put it together. So I had a plan for how to build the desk, right? I had the instructions that had come with it. And I also had all the tools I needed, but I didn't have a desk yet. And I had the potential for success, getting the desk put together and having a desk. but I also had the potential for failure. It could have just sat there in the box and never turned into a desk and just stayed a bunch of pieces. And what would make the difference there? Why might I fail, even if I have a plan and I have the tools? And what I realized is the answer is lack of motivation to take action. You can have everything you need, but you can still fail to take action. And if you fail to take action, then you'll fail to get results. And without a vision of success looks like and plenty of encouragement along the way, it can be really tough to keep going, especially because, like we said, building a business takes time, right? And the people around you in your real life might not fully understand your vision and might not really understand what you're trying to do. And so they're not always as encouraging as we would like, right? So just as much as you need a plan and you need tools, you also need support. Support is so important. And so I was trying to figure out how to solve this problem that we need support. And what I came up with was the Startup Society membership community. So inside Startup Society, you not only get the 7-step training plan and unlimited access to all my courses, but you also get the Startup Society membership community. And the membership community is where all of our entrepreneur members get together and they support each other. They really encourage each other to keep each other motivated. They inspire each other by sharing their successes. And when you hear what amazing things other people are doing, it really will inspire you to take action for yourself and to create something amazing yourself. And it also provides support whenever you need it. If you have a question, if you're not sure how to do something, if you're feeling a bit stuck, you can reach out to the other members and post a question in the forum. And they are so supportive and encouraging, and they will help you out so much. But then I asked myself, how can we make success as sure as possible? What more could I do to really ensure that, my community is successful in reaching their goals? Because that is my #1 priority. And I realized that what we could do to make it even more sure that you would be successful and create the business that you really want to create and the lifestyle that you're desiring and increase your income is to add accountability. Now, if you've ever had an accountability partner, then you know what a huge difference this will make. Because when you are accountable to one person and you know that every week or every other week you're going to meet with them and you're going to have to tell them what you did and what you didn't do and whether or not you achieved your goals, then it just really compels you to take action and to not procrastinate, not put things off. And so I built into Startup Society an accountability partner matchup program. And what this is as a member, you fill out a little form and then we match you up with someone else who's in a really similar situation to you and has similar goals to you and wants similar things out of an accountability partner relationship. And this allows you to have that accountability partner that you need in order to become successful. Now, there's only one more thing that could make your success more certain, and that's experience, okay? Where you're at now, if you don't have experience, and if you had that experience of what it took to become successful, then success would be a lot easier. That's why after someone finally starts a successful business and grows it, they can normally turn around and just start another one right off the bat. But unfortunately, I can't give you experience, okay? There's no way I can give that to you. But what I can give you is the next best thing. I can give you my experience. I can share with you exactly what's worked for me and what has worked for my clients. I can share the experience of my clients who have been successful and tell you what's really worked for them. And so how we do that inside Startup Society is we have live mastermind sessions. Every single month, we get together live, a lot like this, only you're actually looking at my face instead of looking at the slides. And we have a one-on-one conversation where you can get experience-backed answers for your biggest questions. You can have real-world examples of how to apply what you're learning to your own business, and you can figure out how to take action on what you're learning. So instead of just like learning it as a concept, we can really talk through how you can apply it and how you can make it have an impact on your business, which really makes the difference in whether or not those tactics and the strategy that you're learning is going to be able to help you. So there's basically group coaching built into Startup Society as one of the benefits that members get. Now, before we go on, I just want to emphasize that one of the main things that I focus on with Startup Society is that it was priced right for everyone. I know it sounds like you get a whole lot And so I don't want you to tune out and think, okay, well, that sounds great, but I couldn't possibly afford that, because pricing it right for everyone is very important to me. So let's just go over all the benefits that members get, because there are a bunch of them. So first off, you get unlimited access to all of my online courses. Currently, they are valued at about $1,500, but like I said, we add a new one every single month, so that value goes up every single month. You also get exclusive live access to the Startup Success course, which is only available to Startup Society members. You can't buy it otherwise, and it is a $9.97 program. You get a place in our exclusive membership community. This is really invaluable, but similar communities are generally priced at around $450. You get live mastermind sessions every single month, which are worth at least $99, probably a whole lot more. You get to get matched up with an accountability partner, again, valued at least $100. You also get a listing in our members database. And so this can really get you a lot of exposure for your business. We list your business inside the database so other members can find you and can contact you to hire you. And similar databases typically charge about $250 to have a listing inside of them. And then you also get access to dozens of worksheets and ebooks and printables to save you time in your business and help you to grow your business faster. And the value of those resources is about $300. So total value of what you get as a Startup Society member is over $3,600. It's an insane amount of value, and it's all instantly at your access as soon as you join. But we have to remember what my mission is. My mission is to cut through the clutter and show as many people as possible how simple it can really be to build a successful online business. And I realized that if I priced this at like $3,600, even if the value is totally there, and it is, that would not really be in alignment with my mission, because the people who are going to get the most value out of Startup Society are the people who don't have big successful businesses, and they don't necessarily have a big income already, and so they don't have thousands of dollars to invest in a program, even though it can really help them. I firmly believe that the tools for creating success should be available to everyone, and so I'm committed to offering this at a price that people can actually afford. And so because of that, it's not $3,600, and it's not $2,000, it's not even $1,000 or even $100. No, you get all of that for $33 a month. Like I said, I want to make this as affordable as possible for everyone so that everyone has access to these tools. And yes, I might be crazy, and I definitely might raise the price in the future, but if you decide to join Startup Society now, you will lock in that price forever. So you'll be able to continue to access all of the content that we continue to add to Startup Society for as long as you remain a member for just $33 a month, even if we do eventually decide to raise the price, which I think I probably will. So just to recap, what you get access to, you get access to all of my workshops, you get access to our membership community, access to the resources, access to our support that is exclusive to Startup Society. You get to access our support team that can help you answer your business questions. You also get our mastermind events and a listing in our members database and an accountability partner. Vanessa says, can we leave at any time? Yes, there is no long-term commitment at all. You join for $33 a month, and after that, then you can keep your membership for as long as you want. You can consume all the content and then leave. We want you to be in there for as long as you're finding it really valuable and really helpful, and it's supporting you and growing your business. But we also want to work ourselves out of a job. And what I mean by that is we want you to become so successful so fast that you don't even need us, and that you get totally beyond all the material inside. And as soon as you get to that point where your Startup Society membership isn't supporting you anymore, you can leave at any time. You can even just join for 1 month and watch all the courses and then leave, and that's totally fine. And the point here is just to help you get the resources that you need. So I'm going to put a link here in the comments where you can find the place that you can go to join if this sounds like something that you're interested in. And just a couple more slides here, and then we're going to get to the Q&A, because I know you guys probably have questions that you've been posting in the Q&A section. So as you can tell, at this price, joining a startup society is a no-brainer. I mean, you get access to $3,600 of material that's gonna give you a clear plan for building a successful business and access to so many tools to help you do so more successfully. One of our beta members, Lynette Thompson, she put this comment on Facebook and she said, I just started to get into the Startup Society courses. They are blowing my mind. I can't even believe what a ridiculous value this is. So just so that you know that I'm not the only one who thinks Startup Society is cool. But I also have to let you know that Startup Society is not for everyone, okay? It is an amazing resource and there's a lot of value there, but it's not for everyone. It's only for motivated entrepreneurs who are ready to take action and build successful online businesses, okay? So if this is not you, it's not for you. For example, if you're building a local business, we do have some people inside Startup Society who are building local businesses, and what I mean by that is local as opposed to online businesses. So if you're building a local business, there's still a lot you can get out of Startup Society, but it's not who it's really designed for. Startup Society is really designed for people who want to build online businesses, and that's what the material is mostly targeted towards. It's also not for you if you're looking for a shortcut to success. As I've said a number of times, building a business is a process that takes time. It normally takes a minimum of 3 months, if not 6 months or a year or longer. And so if you're looking for a shortcut to success, then Startup Society is really not for you. We're looking for people who are in it, not in Startup Society, but in it for their goals for the long haul, who are committed to their goals for the long haul, and who are willing to put in the time and the effort to actually create success for themselves and create whatever lifestyle they really desire, and they're willing to do the work to get there. Also, if you're not ready and willing to actually take action, okay? We don't want people who are just gonna come in and watch the courses and never do anything with them. We want people who are really ready to actually implement and apply them to their business, take action and start something so that we can help you become successful. Because it's my mission to help more people become successful and to see how simple that can be. But if you're not willing to take action on it, then I can't help you. So I wouldn't really recommend that you should join if you aren't interested in taking action. What you have to understand is that Startup Society is a community and a really tightly knit one at that. And so it's really important that we have the right people inside because we spend a lot of time with each other, supporting each other, helping each other. And we want people who are there for the same reasons as us and who are going to contribute to the community. So we want people who are online entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. I know a lot of you guys haven't started yet, and that is totally fine because as long as you're ready to take action starting now or very soon, you're going to get a lot out of Startup Society that will teach you the basics of building your business before you get started, which will really help you get things off on the right foot so that you don't waste a lot of time so that you don't waste a lot of time during the process. So it's great if you're just starting out. That's totally fine. But you need to be someone who's ready to take action now. Okay, so, thanks, Alessandra. Yeah, we beta launched and we also early bird launched. So we have quite a lot of members inside already. So I really appreciate you saying that. Alessandra said, Startup Society is amazing. I'm already enjoying. I think that you, Gillian, and team created such a great thing. Thank you. Awesome. Someone else commented and said, what if we can't afford a month and we leave and rejoin after that month? Will it still be $33 if the price is raised? Okay, so great question. Multi-part answer here. So you're welcome to join and leave at any time. So if you can't afford it, that's fine. You definitely can leave. We only open the doors to new members twice a year though. So every 6 months we welcome in new members. So if you leave, you won't be able to join again until we open it back up to members again. And we do that just because we really want to have a cohesive body of people inside. Like we want a bunch of people who know each other and trust each other and support each other. And if we constantly have new members coming in, then it's really hard to get to know them and to build a relationship with them. So we only open it up twice a year to new members. So if you join in the future, no, it would not be $33. It would be, you can only join when we actually open it up, and it would be whatever price it is priced at that point. I don't know if and when we will raise it. We probably will raise it down the road, but I can't say exactly when because we haven't planned that out yet. for the foreseeable future, it will be $33, but only open twice a year. Okay, so it's for online entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. It's for action takers who are ready to take action now. And it's for people who are committed to reaching their goals, and for people who are willing to invest in themselves and in their success. And I don't just mean to invest money. I mean, $33 a month is not that much, probably less than your cable bill, right? And your cable bill doesn't make you any money at all. Maybe less than you spend on coffee each month, I don't know. But I'm more talking about investing the time and the effort into yourself and into your success. We want people inside the Startup Society community who are willing to invest in themselves, and they're not just like trying to get a free ride or trying to get a shortcut to success, but people who are really committed to it. Maja said, when is the deadline for joining this season? So let's see, today is Thursday. Doors are going to be open until next week on Tuesday. So for about 4 or 5 more days. And then they'll be closing on Tuesday, and they won't open for another 6 months. So I'd encourage you to join right now so that you don't miss the opportunity. If you know you want to join, if you need some time to think about it, that is totally fine. We want people inside who know it's a good fit for them and who aren't just going to come and leave. So just take the time to think about it, but doors do close on Tuesday. Okay, so are you ready to take action and create success for yourself? If so, then I invite you to join us. As we just talked about in the questions, you guys asked the questions at just the right time. There's a limited enrollment time, so don't miss it. The doors are open now, but they won't open again for at least 6 months. Yeah, I said 6 months. It's actually going to be a little bit longer this time because I'm pregnant, and so I don't want to be opening the doors to new members right after I have my baby. So we're going to be waiting a little bit longer than 6 months this time around, just because I want to be really present when the new members come. I spend a lot of time inside Startup Society myself, interacting with the other members, answering people's questions. If you want to get direct access to me, then join Startup Society because I am in there on a daily basis, and you can get basically coaching inside the membership community by asking me questions in there, and a lot of people take advantage of that. So Startup Society, what is it? It's the #1 online community for action-taking entrepreneurs, and it gives you absolutely everything that you need in order to become successful. It gives you the accountability you need, it gives you the support, but it also gives you the big picture strategy, and it tells you exactly what to do when, and it gives you all the tools that you need. Each of those courses that I showed you previously, each of them is a complete system in and of itself that teaches you how to successfully launch your book, or how to grow a successful YouTube channel, or how to get clients online. Those weren't just like one video each. They are a whole suite of videos that really walks you through each of those processes. And people pay hundreds of dollars for each of those courses on their own. And we've had almost 1,000 people go through them at this point and get so much value out of them. And I get messages from people all the time telling me about the great results that they've gotten from them, and how they've launched their book and it became a bestseller, or they started their YouTube channel and they got their first 1,000 subscribers in just a few months, things like that. So I know that people get results from these programs, and we've had so many members get those results. And so the fact that you can get access to all of those courses for just $33 a month is really an insane deal, and that's why I'm saying that we're probably not going to keep the price of $33 a month forever. But that's what we're doing right now, because I think that that is an affordable price, and I really want to be able to reach as many people as possible. Okay, let's see. Do we have any questions about, I mean, we're going to jump into the Q&A now, but post your questions in the Q&A section if you have them. I'm going to look at just the very bottom part of this chat here to see what questions people asked here, but then I'm going to jump into the Q&A questions. Mary asked if we have any info on legal taxes inside Startup Society. No, because Startup Society isn't so much about like how to set up your business. We might add a course like that in the future if enough people ask for it, but it's not so much about how to set up your business from a legal standpoint. It's about how to grow your business and how to attract an audience and how to make sales and find the perfect product and grow your business. Like I said, we certainly might add a course about legal aspects of it. We do release a new course every single month, and so that's definitely something that we might do in the future, but there isn't a course on that right now. Okay, Thank you guys for all the congratulations, by the way. Laura said, how do I get a one-on-one with you? I tried and you're booked forever, LOL. Yeah, I am quite booked out with one-on-one clients right now. If you want to pursue working one-on-one, what you can do is there's an application form on my website, and you can fill that out. And if it sounds like you're a good fit for my one-on-one program, then we can give you a free consultation call and then talk about options from there. There is potentially some room, but I'm not currently accepting new clients unless they are the perfect fit, because I do have a full roster of one-on-one clients right now. Okay, so let's get into this Q&A. Give me just a moment here while I pull up your guys' questions. Okay, let's see. I want to start a company that provides products to help small businesses and online creators with branding, including stock photography, mock-up photography, pre-made logos, and such. I'm currently at the beginning of making products. In your experience, is this business model profitable? And how should I start to build an audience? Okay, so that is a lot of question. I mean, you're kind of asking like how to turn this into a successful business. The answer to the first question, is this a profitable business model? Yes, definitely. You're talking about selling digital products, okay, and that can create a lot of passive income. I mean, I'm sure you already know that. That's why you've chosen to start this business. It really comes down to, I would say, 2 or 3 different things. One is keeping your costs relatively low when you're first starting out, not investing too heavily into trying to like build your business before you have an audience, because you really need to make sure that you go about finding your audience first and attracting your audience first, because there's a lot of different types of people who might be interested in these products that you're offering, right? They might be all females or all males. They might be wanting to brand their online business or their local business. They might be wanting more professional, like classic type designs, or they might want more creative, artistic designs. And so if you can attract your audience first, then what's going to happen is you're going to be so much more in tune with your customers' unique wants and needs and desires, and you'll be able to sell to them much more successfully. So how should you start to build an audience? The 2 main ways are content marketing or paid marketing. So you're either putting content out into the ecosphere, i.e. you're blogging, or you have a YouTube channel or a podcast. Probably something visual like a YouTube channel would be the best bet for your business. Like obviously I would need to know more to be able to tell you exactly. Also, inside Startup Society, we have we have a few different courses about audience building, and we also have a complete module inside the Startup Success program that teaches you all about how to get visibility and actually build your audience. So I think that you'd find a lot of support there. Okay, Mary asked, does Startup Society provide answers to legal tax questions? Short answer is no, maybe down the road if more people ask for it. And then Erica asked basically the same thing. Let's see. Someone asked, will there be a replay of this webinar? So, I mean, short answer is no. I've been telling everybody no. I am going to send a replay, though, to the people who actually attended. So the fact that you're here at all means that you will get to be able to have a copy of it. So that will be available. It might be a few days before you get it, though. Okay, let's see. Hi, Gillian. What are your thoughts on starting a YouTube channel with just an iPhone? I'm on a really tight budget, but I want to get started right away. I don't have the funds to purchase a camera at the moment. I would say do it, especially if you have a more recent iPhone. The cameras on those are actually fantastic, way better than the digital cameras that so many people have started with their YouTube channels with. So I would definitely say yes, go for it. Better to start now, start growing your business, start building your audience. And then down the road, when you have either made some money or you've just saved some money, then you'll be able to buy a camera and take your business to the next level. But I wouldn't wait. Don't wait. Just do it. Take action. Okay. Mary said that she thought that we would be covering how of taxes and legal things. So that's more about like how to set up your business, not so much how to make money online. So that's why we didn't get into that. I have a resource on my website that I think you'd find helpful. It's called the Online Business Startup Guide, and that gets into that to some degree. It tells you things about legal setup and different aspects of that. How to find out more about that? Honestly, your state's business bureau, state's business bureau. Look up your state and then business bureau on Google, and you'll find a lot of resources for how to set up your business from a legal standpoint. Okay. Lena asked, what finance technicalities should one learn before starting a business? Basic accounting. It really doesn't need to get complex when you're first starting out. Simply keeping track of the money you spend and the money that you earn will get you 90% of the way there. There's free software you can use, waveapp.com, or just search for like Wave Accounting on Google and you'll find it. It's a lot like QuickBooks, and it will keep your books for you and make everything really nice and organized and help you figure out how much you owe for taxes and everything like that. And it's completely free, so you might check that out. How do I build an audience aside from Facebook ads? I still didn't get the practical side of it. Okay, so yes, that is definitely something that we could spend, hours talking about, specific tactics for building the audience. Today, we are just focused on making sure that you do it at the right time. So it needs to come after you have a message for your business and after your business has a professional appearance online, but before you start trying to make money. So that's what we are mostly focused on there. As far as the how-to, mostly it comes down to getting visibility if you have a good brand. So you can do that by collaborating with other people who have audiences. So a lot of the time someone will be like a guest on a podcast and they get exposure from being the guest and they bring value to the podcast. So that's just one little example of how you can collaborate. So you're getting on the podcast because the podcast already has an audience and you have something to offer. The other ways that you can collaborate or that you could get an audience would be to do like a sponsorship exchange with someone. So they give you a shout out on their Instagram and you give them a shout on yours. And then the kind of like bigger picture thing is just consistently putting out good quality content. And we're talking about if you don't want to use Facebook ads or Google ads or something like that. You can basically invest money into ads, or you can invest time into putting out videos every week or putting out a blog post every week, and by really helping people and then by getting their attention because you helped them. Monocle asked, when you have a business, how do you deal with discounts? I saw that in many cases, clients may wait for a discount. From my point of view, discounts are destroying the sales. There's lots of different ways that you can handle this. If your business is plenty profitable, even when you discount, so like if you sell something that's normally $100 and you still make plenty of profit when you mark it down 50% off, then that might be your business strategy. Maybe your strategy is that you don't really expect to make any sales at $100, and like once a month you discount 50% and you make a bunch of sales, and that works for you. On the other hand, maybe you're only profitable, or at least profitable enough, when you are pricing full price. And if that is the case, then you probably want to basically never discount, because you don't want to make people have to choose to wait for those discounts and deals to come along. And so instead, you might want to do promotions occasionally where you add extra value. So maybe you're only accepting new customers once a month or once a quarter, and that can help to create scarcity with your product. Or maybe once a month or once a quarter, you have a deal where same price, but now you get an extra session, or you get some bonus along with it. So those are some different ways that you can choose to get around that. You can also just never give discounts or never do bonuses, and just consistently market your services or whatever your product is over time. I mean, we never see there's a lot of big companies that never discount or do deals, and they still consistently make plenty of sales. So, I mean, just like a tiny random example, you never see stuff on sale at IKEA, right? But people still go to IKEA and buy the furniture because it's what they want. and IKEA has done a good job of growing an audience. Okay, what is the next question here? Bridget said, my passion is fitness and postural health niche. If I create videos showing simple moves to improve posture, then how can I monetize those? Okay, so a few different ways you can monetize those. First of all, I mean, you do get paid from just YouTube ads. So if you're talking about something that is going to get a lot of exposure, that that there's a big demand for. If a lot of people are searching for how to sit up straighter or whatever it is, I'm sure that that's not what it is, but if a lot of people are searching for it and your video gets a lot of views, then you will get money from the ads on the video. But beyond that, you could have a course or an ebook that teaches people these different postural strategies or posture tips, and you could sell that at the end of the video. You could say, okay, you just watched this whole video, and if you got value out of it, you might be interested in buying this ebook that has 5 tips, and the ebook is only $10 or something like that. So you're capturing people who have an interest in that already, and so there's a lot of potential to sell them different things. I don't know exactly what service or product you would necessarily sell related to postural health, but there's certainly different options that might be coaching, or it could be a product. If you have a product that you would really recommend to people to help them have better posture, then you could simply be mentioning that product in your videos frequently and giving your Amazon affiliate link and be making affiliate sales that way. Okay, let's see what else. Here, let me turn off the my share screen actually, and you guys can see me face to face. Let's see. Okay, hi guys. Sorry, I was going to turn that off at the beginning of the Q&A, but I got focused on the questions and forgot about that. Okay, for service-based business, do you recommend liability insurance? Yes, I probably would. I mean, it depends on what kind of service you're offering, but liability insurance isn't typically very expensive, and it's definitely better to protect yourself. If you have a business that isn't very, doesn't create a lot of liability, and there isn't a lot of concern, then simply having an LLC could be plenty sufficient, and then you don't have to pay for the insurance, but generally it's better to be protected. For a content business, which delivery method is more efficient to make money? I would say YouTube, because YouTube has is in a unique situation where you have the ability to reach the audience there and also to deliver the content, as opposed to like a podcast. A podcast, you really have to be driving people from it outside. Not like people aren't going to find you on iTunes generally, unless you drive people first and you have a lot of people download your podcast, and then you get into the top podcasts, and then you get visibility, and that can drive a lot more downloads. But getting that initial visibility is something you have to drive from an outside source. And then you can make money with your podcast with sponsorships. But YouTube, it kind of provides a complete package where people find you on YouTube and they consume your content on YouTube, and you can get paid through YouTube. I make money in a lot of different ways in my business. I sell products and services, and I get ad money, and I do affiliate sales, like all sorts of different things. But the ad money is about 1/4 of my revenue in my business right now, maybe a little bit less. But it's a substantial piece of the pie, and that's with my business that makes multiple 6 figures a year. So I would vote YouTube, but blogs and podcasts can certainly make money also. Out of curiosity, what was your first business about, the one you mentioned starting in high school? So I actually started a local music academy back in high school, which over time, over the span of 5 or 6 years, I grew to be the biggest music academy in the Northwest where I live, so in Oregon, Washington, Idaho. It's the biggest music academy out here, and then I sold it a 1.5 years ago. And it was an amazing business, and I loved it for a long time, but it wasn't what I was most passionate about. And I had a lot more, I really wanted to help I'm so passionate about entrepreneurship and everything related to that. And I really wanted to help people with something that I was the most passionate about. Like we were talking about back when I was talking about the different types of businesses and starting a product-based or service-based or content-based business. And I was saying a content-based business can be great if you can talk about something all day long. I'm like that about entrepreneurship and success. I can literally talk about it all day long. I can spend hours every day researching it. And so even though the business that I had started and grown was a successful business, and it, you know, I love music and I'm a musician myself, but it wasn't the thing that I could talk about all day long. And so it was just, it felt like something that I was tied down to instead of something that I really wanted to do every day, because there were other things that I wanted to spend my time on. And that's why I ended up starting my personal brand, Gillian Perkins, so that I could really share with people and connect with people as it relates to entrepreneurship and success. How is it best to connect with the right people you're speaking about inside Startup Society? Okay, so I think that what, Laura, you're asking is, how can you connect with people inside Startup Society without giving away, well, you said without giving away your business, or do I worry about that at all? Do you mean without giving away the product of your business? So like if you're a life coach, I don't know, or a health coach, let's say a health coach, are you saying like, how can you connect with people without giving health coaching away for free, or about like giving away what you're going to start? Because there is no reason to fear giving away what you're going to start, because only you can uniquely do it. And so if someone else chooses to start a health coaching business, it's not really going to affect you at all. And because they're not you and they're not going to reach the same people who you would reach, but also because anyone can start any type of business at any point of time. And it's probably very unlikely that you would have an idea that would be so unique that it would be like worth stealing. Not because it's not a good idea. I'm sure whatever your business idea is an amazing idea, but you're probably not like inventing a brand new product that no one's ever heard of. And even if you were, you can almost always get away with just telling people about it, because most people, it would be extremely unlikely that someone would take action and execute your idea. Like, it's your idea that you're passionate about, and even you know, it's challenging for you to get it out into the world. And so for a random person to do that, it's just really unlikely. So I wouldn't worry about that at all. Melanie, how to deal with rejection? Well, I don't know, different advice depending on what you're talking about exactly, but what springs to my mind immediately is rejection as far as like pitching leads and then getting told no. So like you're trying to sell something to someone and they don't buy. What I would say, two things. One, figure out what's going wrong. Okay, so it's not so much about like dealing with it, but figure out what's going wrong and work on improving your process. So is what you're offering out of alignment with what your audience wants? Are you not communicating effectively? Are you focusing on selling the features over the benefits? Like, are you telling them this computer is, I don't know, are you telling them you get 5 hours of coaching? Or are you telling them, I can teach you how to, you know, lose the weight that you want to lose? Okay, there's a big difference there. So work on improving your process. And then the second thing would be, it's a numbers game. Once your process is at least decently good, you can always keep improving your process, but you just have to pitch a certain number of people in order to get a certain amount of yeses. Every no gets you closer to that yes. For example, if you don't have a very good sales process and you have to pitch 100 people to get to one yes, and so you hear no 99 times and then you get to that yes, even though your sales process is not good and you should definitely improve it, there's still a certain number of no's that you just have to get through in order to get to the yes. So it might be you have to get through 2 no's to get to a yes, or you might have to get through 99 no's to get to a yes. But you just have to keep pitching and telling yourself it's a numbers game. And then over time, you'll learn what that number is. You'll learn that, you know, you get a yes 30% of the time, or you get a yes 20% of the time. And so then it gets really easy to just keep every day, you know, making that many calls. Most of you wouldn't be making calls, but you know what I mean. Keep spending that much money on ads, or keep putting that many videos out there, or keep pitching that many clients because you know that after you do 10 of them, then you'll get one. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Laura asked, she says she wants to be a coach about mental health. I'm a registered nurse, but how do I know the laws to help others? So it will really depend on your state and what the laws in your state are. There's normally people at the business bureau in your state who you could ask about any laws related to that. You could also just ask about like health service, or Google health service laws in your state. So health service laws, California, or shortcut would be to find someone who's doing something similar to what you're doing in your state, but probably it's best to do it in a different city so that they don't think you're trying to compete with them. So like whatever big city is near you, find someone who's doing something similar to you and ask them if you could buy them lunch and ask them some questions about their business or something like that, or if you could buy some of their time. That would be a shortcut, but you can also just start with Googling it. You might find your answers quickly. Typically, how long should you expect to need Startup Society? Thank you. Well, it would depend on where you're at with your business right now. If you already have an idea or you're just starting out, like maybe you're just going to choose your idea today, for example, the longest phase is the building your audience. So that is the biggest variable. Each of the steps can take as long or as little time as you need them, but most people are able to, I hate to even say this because it depends so much on what type of business you're starting. On average, I would say most people can get to like that final phase of the process and so what I mean by that is they can build their audience, they can choose a product and start making money, and they can get to phase 3 with step 6 and 7 where they are automating their business, and then they're in step 7. They're starting to scale their profits. They can get there within the first 6 months. Of course, that cannot be guaranteed. It all depends on how much time and effort you put into it and on what type of business you were starting in the first place, and then on random things that can happen. But most people are able to do that within 6 months, if not less, if they are consistent with it and put in the work. Like, you know, on a weekly basis, they're working on their business and they're taking the right next action. 6 months is plenty of time. Do you think teaching language online is profitable? Yes, although there's different ways to go about it. One of my one-on-one clients right now has a YouTube channel where she teaches Portuguese, and she makes plenty of money from her YouTube channel by itself, but then she also offers other courses and classes and one-on-one type services. And so she makes plenty of money teaching language. If you're just going to go to one of those websites where you're basically working as a subcontractor and you're like doing one-on-one coaching only and you don't build your brand first, I would say it's probably going to be hard to make a living at that. You can, I know that some people do, but it's a pretty low paying job. So if you take the time to build your brand and build your audience, you can make plenty of money. If you don't, then it's going to be more like a minimum wage type job. Let's see. Okay, let's see, who was it? June said, I was sick as a young person, and when I shared this with my adult education class, I was asked if I was a motivational speaker. I wasn't, but it got me thinking. I want to work with this, blogging or YouTube channel, sharing my experience. Yeah, I think that that's a great idea, and I love that you can get started as a speaker these days with a YouTube channel instead of just like trying to start at zero and start pitching people to speak. You can start your YouTube channel, you can start gaining momentum there and kind of proving yourself, proving that people are interested in your message, and then it can become a lot easier to down the road actually get paying speaking gigs as well, which can provide additional income for your business. Let's see, someone, I can't see your name. Vanessa asked, will the videos in Startup Society help anyone around the world and not based in the US? Yes, they will, because the videos inside Startup Society are not about the legal aspects, like we were talking about. It's not about like how to set up your business on a legal level. And the reason for that, I guess, yeah, really the main reason that we don't offer that isn't because people don't need that advice, but it's because that advice differs from state to state and from country to country, and it's very different depending on where you live. And so it makes a lot more sense to simply Google, how to start a small business in California or in Washington or whatever it is. And you'll find on your state's business bureau website or whatever business bureau type organization your country has, they don't normally make it very hard. Like, the information is out there, and definitely you can reach out to our membership community and to our support team, and they can help you find that information. But you asked if the videos in Startup Society would help anyone around the world, and the answer is yes, because they are about basic business building concepts, like how to grow an audience and how to create a compelling message and how to get people interested in you and how to choose a product. And those things are the same regardless of what country, whatever country you live in. Everywhere the same sorts of strategies work. Also, we've got all these courses in there, like how to build a successful YouTube channel or how to launch your self-published book. And pretty much all of those courses, I can't think of any of them that wouldn't work the same in almost every country, because they're all talking about how to make money online. So, I mean, the other courses are like how to attract clients online and how to set goals and how to achieve your goals and things like that. And so, yeah, it should be applicable to people in every country. Okay, let's see. A few more questions here. I know we're way over time. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I'm surprised we still have so many people here. We still have 70 people here. That's awesome, because we've gone 2 hours instead of 1 hour. So thank you so much for sticking with me through all this. And also, I just wanted to let you know that even though this was a shortened version of the paid How to Get Started Making Money Online workshop, which, by the way, is available inside Startup Society itself. So if you join Startup Society, you will get access to that paid workshop, which is $30 on its own. But even though this was a shortened version of it, it was also an updated version of it with a more, like a plan that has been improved. This isn't the first iteration of this plan. We've been working on this and making it better and better and better. And at this point, it is, very simplified. We've simplified it down to these 7 steps, and so that you can see the complete picture of what it takes to build a successful online business. And so even though you guys got to come here for free today, and it really was, I don't know, I'm just really pleased with the content that I got to share with you guys today, and I hope that you found it extremely helpful. Okay, should we answer a couple more questions, or should we eat lunch? I mean, probably half of you guys are on the East Coast, so you've already eaten lunch. I have not eaten lunch yet. We started at 11. So I'm gonna go eat lunch. If you guys have questions, I'm gonna leave this open for a few more minutes here. Yeah, so I'm going to post the link one more time here. If you haven't joined yet, I would love to have you join us inside Startup Society. We have a few hundred people in there already, and the energy inside there is fantastic. Everyone is enjoying the courses so much already. One thing I didn't talk about, I didn't even mention this, we have this Startup Success quiz in there. That's the first thing you do when you join, and you take the quiz, and it's about 5 minutes long or so it's not super long, but it tells you exactly where you're at in the business building process and what you need to focus on next. And then throughout July and August, we're going to be all working together live through the Startup Success program, and we'll be covering every single phase of the process, and we're going to do mastermind sessions along the way. And so you'll really learn how to implement every single part of the process. I know a few of you were asking about, like, well, how do I build my audience, or how do I get visibility? And we will be getting really deep into that and teaching you the most effective strategies for building your audience successfully, for getting subscribers on YouTube, for getting traffic to your blog, and really getting your name out there so that you can start making sales, so that you have someone to sell to, and so that you have someone to click on your ads or whatever it is that you're doing to monetize your business. So we're going to be doing that in July and August, and I would love to have you join us and join all the other members. I know that they would love to have you, would love to get to know you and to support you in reaching your biggest goals. So I'm going to go eat lunch now. I just posted the link there at the bottom. Thank you guys so much for your support and for being here. Like I said, you make me want to do more free workshops. So I think we will do that in the future because this was just so much fun. And I hope you got a lot out of it. Okay, have an amazing rest of your day. And I will see you next time. I'll probably see you on YouTube. Yeah, a new video just came out today if you haven't seen it. How to start a profitable blog. So if you haven't seen that yet, then go check that out. Okay, I'm gonna really go. Bye guys.